Did you know that the interest rates on home loans, auto loans and all other kinds of loans have fallen down significantly in the COVID era? They say that experience is the best teacher, and this video is based solely on my personal experience with home loans, the EMIs and the interest rates which have been reduced, and the options which the bank provides you when you opt in for reducing the interest rate on the home loan. So let's head to the video and find out what we have in store for you today. So let's begin our discussion where we analyze the options which we have while reducing the home loan interest rates, and I'm sure whoever has taken a home loan ever in his life will be facing a similar kind of questions in his mind while analyzing. And let's begin with what is currently going on. As we all know, COVID-19 has impacted the way we live our lives in 2020, and all the rates have been reduced. The rates on FDs, savings account, recurring deposit account, even Provident Fund has reduced its rate of interest this year. This is what we've heard, but did you actually think on this thing? It has also led to the fall in the interest rate of loans. Home loan rates have come down, auto loan rates have come down. Those loans, and everything related to the banks, have also become cheaper. So when the interest rates fall down, what happens is the existing loans, you always have an option of either closing down the loan which is running in the bank. For example, you have a home loan with Axis Bank. You always have the option of closing down the loan with the Axis Bank and take up a fresh loan from HDFC Bank, and at a lower rate of interest. Of course, that is the reason which you will be doing, and in technical terms we call this as an interest rate swap. So to avoid this thing, what banks already offer to their existing customers who have a home loan or an auto loan running at a higher rate of interest, they offer rate reduction. Okay, so the reason Axis Bank will offer me a better rate of interest, or the current running market rate of interest, is because it will actually lose out their customer, because we as loan takers are a customer for the banks. Banks earn because of us and not because of the depositors. So this is one thing which I wanted to make very clear, because most of us forget, even I forget sometimes, but we always need to keep this in mind, that we are doing a favor on the bank. So just remember this thing next time you are in for a loan. Coming back to the point, basically what happens is, Axis Bank, in our example, Axis Bank will offer me a lower rate of interest, which will generally be the rate of interest which is running in the market. For example, a 7% rate of interest is running currently in the market for home loans. So I will be offered, say, a rate of interest of say 7.1 or 7.2, because come on, the processing charges for getting a new loan will cover that up. So even that is fine, which is a good thing, because I'll be getting a lower rate of interest without undergoing any other hassles of availing a new loan, approaching a new bank. So fair enough that 1 or 0.1 or 0.2% is taken by the bank. So when we go in for such rearrangement or the revision of loans, bank generally gives us two options. One is reduce the tenure amount, or the period for which the loan keeps on running, or the second is reduce the EMI amount, or the monthly installment which we pay, that amount will be reduced. So let's have a look at both of these options which we have. So let's just take a quick look at the options which are available to us and what do they really mean. So I'll just run through it very quickly. Suppose hypothetically you have a loan of rupees 50 lakh and the tenure is of 180 months, which is 15 years, and the EMI amount is rupees 50,000 per month. So you have two options. One is to reduce the tenure, which will keep the EMI amount same at rupees 50,000, but the tenure will come down from 180 to 170, that thereby saving you 10 EMIs. So basically, on the face of it, if you look at it, you will be saving rupees 5 lakhs, which is 10 installments into 50,000 is equals to 5 lakhs. But this 5 lakh will be accruing in the long term, which is at the end of the tenure of the loan. And as opposed to this, you have another option of reducing the EMI amount, which will keep the tenure same as at rupees 180, and the EMI amount will be reduced from 50,000 to suppose say 48,000. So in this case, you will be saving rupees 3.6 lakh rupees, and this savings will start accruing immediately in the next month. You'll be saving 2000 per month into 180, which is 3.6 lakhs. Now on the face of it, if you just look, you'll be obviously more inclined towards taking the reduced tenure because the amount of savings is more there, which is very natural for a layman to think so. But wait till you see what I have done for you in the Excel working sheet. So let's Excel. Okay, so now this is based on real incidents. So we have, this is currently our scene. So we have a housing loan, and the amount currently outstanding is rupees 30.7 lakhs. The rate of interest which was currently offered by the bank, I would not name the bank, but the rate of interest which is offered was 8.3%, and the tenure pending is 101 installments are still pending. The EMI is 42,313. I've taken exact figures so that I can show you the exact amount of savings which we can make in this arrangements. Okay, so again we have two options with us. One is to reduce the tenure of by 5 installments. That is the last 5 installments the bank will slash it and we are not supposed to pay it. That will make the tenure of the loan from 101 to 96 installments. And again option B was available to us, was to bring down the EMI amount, which was making the current EMI of 40,000. To analyze this situation which we have over here, this question which we had, I have prepared a little working which I'll be sharing with you if you wish to work out your own set of loans, and to work out even my option, which one should I select. So I've listed down the installment numbers here, the months here, the inflation index. Now what is this inflation index? I'll just get back to this in a moment. And I have written the EMI amount, which is 42,000. that is the original EMI amount, and the present value of the EMI. Now what is this present value and what is this inflation index which I've been stressing on? So now let's understand the concept of inflation. Basically, a pen which you were getting for rupees 10 in 2010 will be worth more than what it was then. Okay, so the rhyming is in. So let's take another example. Dairy Milk chocolate, Dairy Milk Silk, for example. Let's take an example of Dairy Milk Silk. In 2015, Dairy Milk Silk was worth rupees 50, and currently if you just check out the price, it's worth more than 70 rupees. The taste is same, the flavor is same, the size is same, the grams is same, just the price has gone up. What is this increase in price? Simply speaking, it's inflation, and there is a way to calculate this inflation index, which we call the government data. The government's website lists down the inflation rate whichever is prevailing in the market. So currently the inflation rate is 7.66%, which means that 1 rupee today will be worth less than this figure, this percentage. That comes to around September 2020, and if you see September 21, so basically 1 rupee of today will be worth 93 paise in the next year. That is, if we go as per the 7.66% rate. So this is the inflation index, and there is a formula which I have put in the table. I'll be sharing it with you, and so you'll be able to calculate it, and if this thing goes up or down, you can adjust accordingly in this thing. So this inflation और महंगाई जो हम बोलते हैं उसको कि महंगाई बढ़ गई है, this inflation is nothing but the महंगाई which is बढ़ गई है. And to make your financial decisions, you are supposed to take into account, you are supposed to factor in this महंगाई or inflation in all your workings, because the 42,000 which I am spending right now in September 2020 will be worth lot less than what it currently is in Jan 29, that is 9 years from now, which is actually 22,000 only. So basically जो मैं 42,000 उस वक्त स्पेंड कर रहा रहूँगा, उसकी वैल्यू आज सिर्फ और सिर्फ 22,000 रुपीज़ है, basically like less than half. So this is working for that. like if you just look at the table right now, this is the EMI amount, which is the original EMI amount, and 42,000 I'm supposed to pay for in the original arrangement. I was supposed to pay this for 106 installments, 101 installments, sorry, and the total in absolute terms comes to around 42,73,000. Absolute terms means where we are not considering inflation, and basically when we talk in common parallels or day-to-day language which we call, we generally speak in this language that mera outflow itna hai, so 42 lakhs is the current outflow which I am supposed to pay. But in reality we are actually shedding out only 31,62,000 worth of money. Again, I'm stressing on this point, because 42 lakh in totality will only be worth rupees 31 lakhs in today's term. And the present value which I have got is basically multiplying the EMI amount with the inflation index, which gives me this column. So analyzing the two options using this similar method, we can make a better financial decision, because in financial management we are always taught that a rupee which you receive today is worth more than the rupee which you will receive tomorrow. Similarly, a rupee which you are spending right now is costlier than the rupee which you will be spending 10 years from now. So let's see, we have an option of reducing the tenure by 5 installments. So I've listed down the number of installments here, and it is 100 instead of 101 I've put in only 96, because the last 5 installments will be foregone by the bank. Now the present value of option A will actually be the amount which I am shedding, which is 42,313 multiplied by the inflation index, which will give me the present value of option A. And I've used that formula, and my total outflows in today's term will be only 30,49,000. And this is the figure, so this is the figure which I am supposed to be looking at right now while analyzing this option. In option B, I have the option to reduce the EMI amount by rupees 2,000 per month and make the installment, the revised EMI amount to rupees 40,000. And I've listed down this 40,000 in this column. The tenure will be unchanged. I'll have to pay it for 101 installments, and the present value again similarly will be 40,313 into the inflation index. So in absolute terms I'm shedding 40,71,000, but in real terms, or when I factor in the inflation, I'm in reality spending only 30 lakh worth of money, which is today. Now to summarize this thing, what we actually do and which we should not compare is basically the absolute terms outflow of option A and option B. And in absolute terms we are spending 40,62,000 in option A, and in option B we are spending 40,71,000. So basically we are more inclined towards option A, as we saw in the presentation also, that you will be going with the option A. But this is not which we should not do, and instead compare the present value of option A outflows, which is 30,49,000, and option B outflows is basically the expenditure, and the total expenditure in option B is 30,13,000. So basically option B is cheaper by 36,000 rupees. And whenever you are faced with such a situation in your life with regard to anything financially, you're supposed to be using this working and factor in the inflation and other factors also, like the interest rate which is prevailing, which we'll be covering in some other videos in the future. But for now, let's stick to inflation rate. You should factor in the inflation rate and accordingly work out which option is better for you. So for me, the better option was obviously to get the EMI amount reduced, because I'll be saving 2,000 rupees immediately from the next month, which makes an impact on the total outflows which I'm making. So overall 36,000 I have saved only in the selection of this option, and this 36,000 is in the present value terms, that is in today's value terms. Now you can use this the same working sheet for analyzing if you are actually going in for the prepayment or a foreclosure of your loan. That suppose like 2 years from now the YouTube channel flourishes and I start making lots of money and I have tons of money left, so I decide to foreclose the entire loan which I'm currently having. So say in September 2022 I decide to close down my loan, and so in that case whatever plan I have financially, I can actually predict that, and it's not necessary that I make the entire payment of the loan. Suppose I pay off 10 lakh rupees, so again when I am paying off 10 lakh rupees, I'll again be faced with the option of either reducing the tenure amount or reducing the EMI amount. So you have to use this table to make your better financial decision in that regard. So this is what the discussion was about today, this working. I'll be definitely sharing this working with you, and let's head back to the presentation. So if you have any questions related to the working, or you have some doubts or queries, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I'll definitely make sure that your queries are resolved. And just remember one thing, banks have not done any favors for you by giving you a loan. We often forget that, and actually the other day I visited a bank and I actually saw people being afraid of asking anything from the banks. Just remember this, you have done a favor for the bank by taking a loan from that particular bank, because it is such a competitive world out there. Every bank will be fighting for even a slightest of 0.1% to get you take a loan from them. So you are the one who's generating income for the bank by taking the loans. So do not let them bully you. And like always, this is CA Aman Bajaj, and I hope I was able to provide you with some clarity regarding your loan EMI discussions. If you have any suggestions for the next video, please make sure to comment below, and if you think this can be useful for somebody else, do make it a point to share this video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.